Welcome, everyone, to the variety show Without a Clue. Guests from all over the world come from all walks of life and all careers to come on and tell us about themselves and give us a little bit of their insight. So grab a seat, relax, and listen, because this is the Leo Effects. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Today, joining me, I have a very special guest. I met him at GalaxyCon. I've heard his voice a few times before and did not know the person that it belonged to. I was pleasantly surprised. Joining me today, I have Mr. Josh Martin. How are you today, sir?
I'm well. How are you, Ray? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. It's quite an honor, and I'm doing very well, actually. So, what I like to do first on the show, I would like, you don't have to go into a full resume because I understand it'll be quite extensive. But can you kind of let the listeners know what things you might feel that you're most known for?
Well, presently I'm probably most known for my work on Dragon Ball Z as Majin Buu. I do Fat, Kid, and Evil Buu
Mm.
uh, in all the U.S. English versions since 2000, and I've also done Commander Red on Dragon Ball. I'm Yosaku on One Piece, Mason on Full Metal Alchemist, Larry Butt on Ace Attorney. Let's see what else. Mogata on the new Fruits Basket. That's fun.
Nice.
I get typecast a little bit as Pink Monsters.
Yeah, I can imagine so. But that was a very
Right?
iconic villain for Dragon Ball Z.
Absolutely. No, it's still paying dividends today. I had no idea at the time, but now I do, and I love it.
That's awesome. So, what prompted you to go into this whole voice acting career? Where did that start?
Well, I've always been a fan of cartoons. I was 44, so I grew up with Warner Brothers, Hanna Barbera cartoons, Mel Blanc, Frank Welker, even later on Rob Paulson and those guys, Animaniacs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was a fan, but I really didn't know anything about getting into that specific part of the business, much less really how to get into acting. But by the time I got out of high school, I decided that I was going to go to acting school. I actually went to one semester of college and played soccer. I moved from Louisiana
Oh, wow.
when I was 18. I moved to Dallas to go to acting school, and because my dad had worked for an ad agency in Shreveport when I was growing up for a little bit, not the whole time, but he had some experience using talent agencies in Dallas and reached out to one of them, one of the biggest ones, Kim Dawson, at the time, and asked if she would represent me. And when she stopped laughing at him, she suggested that I enroll in her school instead. And no, she didn't laugh at him. That's a joke. But yeah, I had no experience really beyond school plays and that sort of thing. I had no idea what it took at the time, but the school was there, and it seemed like a good place to kind of not only learn the craft of acting, but with all the faculty members there were also working actors. Like at the time, they were working actors. So at any point, you'd come in and have a substitute because your teacher was on an audition or on a job, or
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of a cool thing, that it wasn't just a professor, telling you how to do something, but they have no idea how to do it because they just teach you. That was a cool thing. But anyway, so while we were going to school, wanting an agent to get work, we
Hmm.
couldn't get an agent because we had never had work,
Right, the
and you
old
couldn't get
catch
work
22.
without an agent. So we just decided. me and Chris Rager. You may know him as the voice of Mr. Satan. And Mike McFarland. You may know him as the voice of Master Roshi.
Nice.
Those two and a couple of other outside school friends decided we would join our comedy minds together and start our own comedy troupe. And so that's what we did. We did sketch, music, improv, comedy from 95 until 2009 in one capacity or another.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up being Section 8 comedy, and that was probably our most successful iteration. And that is where I got discovered by Chris Sabat to play the voice of Majin Buu. I was actually, we were performing a show, and Mike had heard about Dragon Ball Z a couple of years ahead of this time and was a fan and found out that they were having auditions, and he booked the part of Master Roshi. And he came and told us about the stuff, about the jobs and everything. Rager tells the story. He heard Mike say he got the part, and Rager was like, "Well, if Mike can do it, I can do it."
Yeah, in that iconic voice.
Chris decided he was going to go and audition, and when he went, there was Mr. Satan that day, and so he picked Mr. Satan to audition for, and obviously he got that part. So a little while later, they invited Sabat to the show, and he saw me do a character called the Pillsbury Homeboy. And after the show, he came up and he said, I think that voice will work for this new character called Majin Buu. And I said, okay. And so he called me in. It was soon after, maybe next day or next week, and I went in and I read. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what Dragon Ball Z was. They told me the short story, the short backstory, and
let's say, here you go.
I still didn't understand it. Yeah, I still didn't understand it. And actually, Chris likes to make fun of me. Rager likes to make fun of me that it took me 3 days to be convinced that they were going to keep calling me back for the job, because for days I would just go in and go, and I thought, wow,
yeah.
Really? Do they like this? And so sure enough, they kept calling me back. And,
that's awesome.
Almost 20 years later, I'm still here.
That's amazing.
So it's kind of like, by then I'd had an agent and things like that. And actually before then, maybe another part that you might know me more from, although you never saw me, was a Big Purple Dinosaur that everybody loved. And that was my first job out of acting school.
Oh, wow.
I've toured around the world in a giant purple dinosaur costume on the Barney's Big Surprise World Tour.
Holy cow.
So,
that's something I didn't know.
Right? So I'd been doing some stuff before I got that gig. And so, I was just in the habit of doing what you do, which is go to auditions and try to get more gigs.
Yeah. That's cool. So what kind of advice would you give to somebody that wanted to get into the voice acting career field?
I mean, if you want to be a voice actor, be an actor. Get into the craft, learn the craft of acting, learn about stage, learn about film, learn about television, learn about character study, learn about movement, all of that. You got to learn all of it, because at the end of the day, voice acting is acting. It's just, a specialized form of acting, and very few voice actors are only voice actors. I mean, there's a handful of, the popular ones, but even, Mark Hamill, probably one of the best known. He obviously a film actor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think I may have seen one of his smaller films, like Star Wars or something.
Oh no, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, learn acting because at the end of the day, what you're doing in voice acting is you're taking all of those techniques uh, that you learn and skills that you learn, and you are condensing it in about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas you have a play script for weeks, if not months. Uh, you know,
Mhm.
you can play with it. You can learn with it. You can experiment with it. Film, you got a little more time. TV, you got a little more time than voice acting. But voice acting, you come in. A lot of times, I don't even know what character. I'd say most of the time, I don't even know what character I'm doing when I go in. And I get into the booth, and they tell me, "Okay, you're this guy." Backstory, whatever it is, and you're going to read line 197, and when you're ready, and that's it.
Dang.
And then you go.
Just like that, huh?
Yeah, you've got to, yeah, just like that. And you've got about, maybe 2 or 3 takes before they tell you, okay, maybe that's not working. But for the most part, you're hired because they know you can make those decisions, or you can take direction well enough to change and make another choice.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's some good advice though. Like, yeah, just
All right.
learn all facets of it before you specialize, I think is the takeaway from that.
Absolutely. I mean, like sports stars or video games say you want to be the best at what, let's say Tekken, and you want to be the best at Ryu, well, that's great, but you got to learn how to play Tekken.
Right.
You got to learn all the move sets. You got to learn how to play video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
makes
you don't
total
just
sense.
start by Tekken and then only, you're going to be a much better video game player.
Yeah.
If you broaden your horizons, learn all the skills.
Yeah. What is it that keeps you coming back for more? What is it about this that you love so much?
I am an egomaniac, and I need the attention.
That's fair.
Yes. I like attention, and I like making people happy, and doing the voice work is fun. It's it's silly. You get to be characters you'd never get cast as otherwise.
I see.
I don't look like a big fat pink thing of chewing gum.
This is true.
I would never get cast as one. But I'm able to. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, when I met you down there in North Carolina, I believe that they had GalaxyCon. When I first saw you get up on
Raleigh,
the panel,
yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, that is not who." When you hear that voice on TV, you don't think of what you look like. It's like,
right.
Man, that blew my mind. I was very confused.
Awesome. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I love that reaction.
It was awesome.
I love it. I think No, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, I was very taken away and kind of humbled. Like, oh my gosh, like every morning before school, I would watch Dragon Ball Z when I was getting ready, and I remember the entire Buu saga, and I'm just like, man, this is the guy that I'd get ready for school listening to this guy. That's awesome.
Right on. Well, thank you for doing that. You made my adulthood.
That's all right. Cool.
Right?
That's awesome. Turnabout's fair play.
Right.
So, do you? This next question is kind of a thinker. I ask it quite a bit, and people kind of get stumped for a minute. They don't really know. It takes them a minute to think of an answer. But if you had any director come up and say, "Hey, I need you to do a voice for this movie," what would this movie be to you? What's your what would be your ideal movie that would just make your career for you?
All right. Well, you didn't say anything about thinking, brother. You said nothing about thinking in this interview. No, I'm kidding. Oh wow. I would say he needs a villain that is just gonna destroy everything, and but he's very very charismatic.
Oh, a very charismatic villain. I
Right,
like it.
right. Everybody likes him. Everybody likes him until he destroys everything. Yeah,
Then everybody
he lures
questions
them
their
in, just like
decisions.
Boo. Right, exactly. He was so nice a minute ago. I'm like, what happened? Why is he killing me? What? Why? Ow! Ow! Ow!
I love
And
it.
I really liked you before. Oh no.
Well, fine. We can't be friends.
Improv.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. So, what would you say you would like remembered about you the most?
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
I think I like the comment you made. It's one I get a lot. I like the compliment of not looking like I sound,
Oh,
or
that's
not
cool.
sounding like I look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like diversity, and I like to keep them guessing a little bit.
That's cool. That's awesome. And you've
But
done so many different things that yeah, you may have gotten typecast a little bit, but I mean, you've done a bunch of different voices. So, I mean, you definitely,
yes,
you got some range to you. So, got to give you props
I'm
there.
lucky. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
very much.
you
Appreciate
know,
it.
after after the convention, you had, because down there you had made a comment about the Pillsbury Homeboy. So of course, as soon as I got back
Yes.
to New York, I immediately looked it up, and that was probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard. So
Uh-oh. You
that,
found some, huh?
yeah, I think somebody
Awesome.
might have bootlegged it.
Yeah, well, I did. There is an animated video out there that I did, and yeah, I invite everybody to go check it out. It's not suitable for work.
No,
It
no, it is
is.
not.
It's rude and crass, and it's probably questionable for 2019, even
Yeah,
even with censorship. But it's a cartoon.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the idea was the irony of this cute, lovable voice cursing. We were I remember the first rehearsal, and our friend, we were all going around and kind of, okay, what characters do you do? And I said, oh, I could do Scooby Doo, and everybody was like, yeah, so can I.
Um,
So, I mean, we all have a Scooby Doo, so
yeah.
there was no point in doing that. And then I said, oh, I can do the Pillsbury Doughboy. And they're like, really? Yeah. So I was like, nothing says loving like my present.
It's so uncanny.
And then thanks. And then I don't know what's the rating on your show here. You might have to
um,
bleep me.
there's no real rating. I try to
All
keep
right.
it a family
Well,
show, but you can let loose. It's all right.
so well, it's nothing too rude, but my friend said, all right, well, say this, and then I go, I'm hollering 187 with my dough in your mouth, biatch.
That's just amazing.
And then the whole thank you. All my friends in the room started laughing, and so I figured, if I got a room full of comedians laughing, this might be good.
Yeah, I mean, you're
So
definitely onto something, right?
right. I thought maybe. So I'm into hip hop as well, and then the idea was just I'm gonna make him a gangster rapper, and so I eventually redid Snoop Dogg's "What's My Name."
Yeah.
Redid all the lyrics, and we performed it I mean, I performed it live for a good 10 years. I performed the character for, what is that? 14 years.
Dang.
And then I did that same rap for almost 10 years. It was crazy. It was fun, though.
That's
a good time.
Yeah, but without that, you wouldn't be where you are now, right?
Exactly. And I don't know, you'd have to ask that, but the fact that I was able to perform it live
Yeah.
for 3.5 minutes, that crazy voice. I don't know. Maybe he
I mean,
thought, if he can do that for 3 minutes, he should be able to do that in the booth.
Right. And I mean, that definitely goes to show what kind of improv artist you are. That's good stuff. So we know.
It definitely helps in the booth.
Yeah, I bet.
Sorry, go on.
Well, I was gonna say that we obviously we've kind of figured out that you're a voice actor and you're good with voices, and we've heard a couple of them. But my next kind of curiosity, I guess, is, do you have any other talents that people might not know about?
I am in a Beastie Boys tribute band, and I rap.
No way.
A part of MCA. Yes.
Oh,
so
man.
I perform.
Please tell me that's
live.
On the internet.
You can find us online.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's called Rhymin' in Stealin'.
Rhymin' and
Apostrophes, no G's.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm
check
totally
us out. The
looking
original Beastie Boys tribute band.
All right. Y'all heard it here. You got to look that up.
That's right. Check us out. Come see us. We're planning some shows in Cleveland this summer and a lot of other places. So check it out.
Awesome. Yeah. So you've done conventions, obviously. I mean, that's how I saw you for the first time. So do you have any funny convention stories?
Oh yeah, I've got tons. Let's see, which ones can I tell you? Let's see, funny convention stories. Oh wow, I'm drawing a blank. I just got back from the UK recently. We did SeaCon, the UK, and the first night we were there, there was a local. I guess he was a local guy. He sounded British, and he was getting kind of loud and being kind of rude to some of the con goers, some people that I knew. And so I walked up and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And the guy turned to me and he kind of flicked me in the shoulder. He's like, "What's your problem?" I was like, "Well, you can stop doing that right now." He's like, "Oh, what are you going to do about it?" And he flicked me again.
Oh, shit.
Well, about that time, before then, I had already made friends with the bartenders. And, talking and everything, gave him good tips and all that other stuff. So after he flicked me the second time, I just looked over at the bartenders and I motioned to the guy who was being rude. And then I made another motion to basically say, "Get him out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, they walked out from behind the bar and escorted this guy out.
Oh, wow.
And
see ya.
And he started getting loud, and next thing you know, cops are upstairs and they take him out of the building.
Oh, man.
Well, I was like, oh goodness. Well, I'm not trying to get anybody arrested, but I didn't do anything but ask him to leave my friends alone. Anyway, fast forward to the next night, me and my friend Rager, we were there together. We do conventions together because we're Anime's favorite odd couple, obviously.
Yep, right.
And we're standing outside of the front of the hotel, and all of a sudden we see a police van pull up. We're like, uh-oh, Somebody going back. About that time, the van door opens, and the guy who got arrested the night before gets out in the same clothes he left in, with a handful of paperwork. And me and Chris are like, did the police just bring this guy back to the hotel? And sure enough, they did, because that's where he was staying.
Oh, oh, no way.
Yeah. Like, we're like, okay, that does not happen in the United States.
No.
The police are not going to bring you home. Right? The opposite happens in the States. They're going to keep you at the jail for a minute. Good luck going home.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, that's one of them.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That's definitely a strange one.
Interesting one.
Yeah, holy cow! I wouldn't know what to do if I saw that happen.
Well.
So on a typical day,
it was crazy.
On a typical day that you've went to the booths and you've put in your hours and you head on home for the evening, what do you like to do to unwind?
Ooh, I usually work on some music. I'm working on a band, a hip hop band. I play a little bass.
That's cool.
I like to watch YouTube, and I like wrestling.
Oh yeah?
Wrestling. Yeah.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm an old school wrestling fan.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I like it.
Yeah, we shameless self-promotion here. We on Breaking the Fourth Wall, we did a interview with Vicious Sid.
Yes.
Or Sid Vicious.
My man.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a real chill guy, actually. It's kind of offsetting. Yeah. You're like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you're not going to yell at me?
Yeah.
You don't want to break me in half or anything? What do you mean?
Wait, what? Yeah, so that was cool. But
that's fun.
You know, we're winding down on the show here. Like you and I discussed, it's about 30 minutes.
I got more to say.
Well,
okay.
You'll just have to come back another time to say more. I would like to use the last little.
Happy.
Perfect. I'd like to use the last little bit of the show, though, for you to do any kind of shameless self-promotion. If you're working on anything big that you want to get out there, we kind of talked about your Beastie Boys band, and we talked about a couple of things. So if you want to just throw it out there where they can find all this good stuff to come and see more of Josh Martin, go for it.
Oh, man. Well, thank you very much. You can check me out on all the social medias. Josh Martin Voice on Twitter, Original Boo on Instagram. If you're over 35 and on Facebook still, I'm Josh Martin, Josh Martin Voice.
Why'd you have to point that out?
Yeah.
That's awkward.
It's fun. It's because we do a lot of these conventions, and we see a lot of kids, a lot of people that are under 35, and they look at us funny when we say Facebook.
Oh, fair enough.
No one uses this.
Facebook's for old people.
Well, we still do. Exactly, yes. Exactly. Well, guess what, Pete? We're old.
Oh, I'm not ready to admit that
I don't dye my goatee gray.
That's au naturel.
I'm not going bald on purpose. I didn't pick that.
Right.
I didn't go to the barber and say, give me the Fred Sanford. No, I didn't ask for that.
Give me the cul-de-sac.
Nevertheless. Yeah. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm going to use that. The cul-de-sac. Oh my gosh. I keep mine shaved though. I can't be having a friar tuck. Oh, the cul-de-sac. I'm stealing that, though, dude. That's mine.
You can have it. Go for it. It's my
I
pleasure.
might have to just grow it out. I might just have to grow my stuff out just to have a cul-de-sac.
There you go.
Oh, that's hilarious, Ray.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, gracing me with your presence. I've had a blast with this. You tell some amazing stories, and you're just such a chill dude, unlike Boo.
Appreciate you. Yeah, right. No, see, it's that's the unchill comes out of me when I do Boo.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's why I'm chill every other time.
Gotcha. That makes so much sense.
Pick my moments.
Although
right?
I think, given a chance, you'd probably destroy the world too.
Well, if I needed to, I could. But I really like everybody.
With that,
Chris Rager makes fun of me for caring about everybody. We are the literal odd couple. He could care less. I care for
really
everyone.
Are. You know, you guys are crazy. I have to get both of you on the show at the same time sometime. That would be just chaos incarnate.
We can do that if you're ready for it.
Oh, I'm always willing. But
hey, maybe we can do it while we're up there in November. Let's talk. Some other time off the air. We don't want to waste your air time. But yeah, we'll be up there, Anime NYC, in November.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's right.
I'm like, I live in upstate New York. I'm about 6 hours away, but for you guys, I'll be there.
Oh, okay.
I would be there in a heartbeat. That'd be awesome.
Well, come on down. We'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, sure.
We'd love to do it.
All right. Well, once again, Thank you for coming on the show. It was
Thank you, Ray.
Pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen,
my pleasure.
See y'all later.
See ya.
Hey everyone, this is Ray. Thank you for listening. It's because of listeners like you that I'm able to keep this show going. For more of my shenanigans, check out Realm of the Mist Entertainment, where I'm co-host to Breaking the Fourth Wall, War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, Lemmy Stormkiller on Four Corners of Hell, and finally, The Chronicler on Chronicles of the Lost Realm. You can also find me at Shattered Dungeons on YouTube, playing an awesome game called Shattered Dawn. For contact information or to be on the show, check out the leoeffects.wixsite.com/podcast today.